Wanderers, welcome to the Wondering Dutchmen Podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by our buddy Matt Krieg of Krieg Insurance. February is the month of love. If you don't believe us, go ahead and Google it. Google will always tell you the truth. Speaking of love, let's talk about the loved ones in your life. Have you sat down with a life insurance professional to discuss your life insurance coverage? A better question may even be, do you have life insurance? That is where our trusted friend, Matt Krieg of Krieg Insurance comes in. Located in the heart of Huntingburg, Matt is ready to assist you in protecting your family, protecting your assets, and protecting your family's future needs by finding the right life insurance and right life insurance amounts that you need. Life insurance shouldn't be complicated, and it also shouldn't be bought over the internet. Give Matt a call today and don't hesitate. Because we can't predict the future, but we can try and protect those we love.
The Wondering Dutchmen Podcast.
Where none of us are Dutch, but we all live in Holland, Indiana. Join us where we talk about what we all wonder about. This is the Wondering Dutchmen Podcast coming to you from Smoker's Lounge.
Wondering Dutchmen. Yeah, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Wondering Dutchmen Podcast. I am Esquire. Today's episode is brought to you by our buddy Matt Krieg of Krieg Insurance. We haven't said his name in a while, but don't think he's not been a big part of the show. Lives down there in the neighborhood. Saw him at daycare drop-off the other day. He didn't warm up the car for the girls, and they didn't look happy about it.
I imagine.
It was a tough spot, but we are here in the lounge, sitting here to my right, that handsome devil that is. One hell of a trivia mind, fellas, by way of Holland, Indiana. Zachary David Masner.
Hey.
Introducing the other fellow over there that if this engineering gig doesn't work out, he may become an ice skater. By way of Richmond, Indiana, it's our buddy, David Allen Smoker.
Hello.
Fellas, how we doing?
Tough day to be a ice skater.
Oh, boy. We're going to lead off with that, huh?
I mean, I don't.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're going to hear this on Wednesday, so it's a few days old by now, but our thoughts and prayers go out to those affected. An airplane helicopter incident and in Washington, D.C. there. And I think they're saying no survivors on that, which I think it'd be hard to have any. And obviously any loss of life is tragic, but I think there was a lot of junior figure skaters or a handful of junior figure skaters on that airplane. So very unfortunate situation there.
Terrible.
Hopefully get to the bottom of it, and hopefully it's not some kind of nefarious act that's been done and simple accident, but you never know in this day and age.
Wild deal. I said that that Black Hawk was on a yearly NODS training run where they were flying with night vision. With like instruments, a line of sight travel path, they said, and that anyway, there was on the. I think correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. You may be more fact up to speed on this, but I think they were on the east bank of the Potomac, and they were supposed to be flying within a certain right along the east bank at approximately 150 to 200 feet off the ground, and then that unfortunately intersected with the landing pattern of that airplane.
Well,
as the way I heard it.
From what I understand is that may be true and correct, that it is known there around the Washington, D.C. area that the east bank of the Potomac is like a helicopter valley, basically where they're supposed to be, not just drifting out and around.
Right.
And I think they played some of the air traffic control part, and it was wild because they're like, they called their number.
Did you see that?
Did you see that? Yeah. And then the accident happens, but it showed a video where they think that he was saying, I did see it from the one taking off.
Yeah.
Because there was one taking off, one coming in. But
looked like it It's terrible to say, but it looks like they cut that airplane in half.
Well, I'd say them blades. Dave could probably tell us how fast those rotors are moving.
The airliner
I
pretty
don't know
much.
that I can.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Completely made up number.
Could go for it.
I would totally believe it.
Yeah.
It's 7,200 RPM.
Oh God,
Yeah.
that's trucking.
Yeah. So
Man.
no, it's been a wild week in our household. So Janelle was on work on call, and Friday night we were getting ready to come to the basketball game, and she got a call, and I got to go put down a 37-year-old horse.
R.I.P. That's
Yeah.
tough
Well,
spot.
Mr. Ed had a good life, had a good
spot.
run.
Big ass teeth.
Yeah, but she had a busy weekend of work, and then work's just been busy for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been running like a wildfire. But,
Yours or hers?
mine and hers.
Yeah.
Well, then she had to work Saturday,
Yeah.
and of course it was like the first decent day in a while. So every Tom, Dick, and Harry brought Fido and Kitty Cat out.
Rover.
258 RPM on a Black Hawk on the main rotor.
So you're way off.
25800.
Revolution. No, 258 Revolution. We got to think. I think 20-foot diameter or better. That's pretty good.
That's a lot of horsepower swinging that bad
Yeah.
boy. Yeah.
Tell you what else takes a lot of
Blade tip
horsepower.
speed is 728 feet per second, though, at
God.
258 RPM.
728
Damn.
feet per second.
Trucking outside,
That's
like
cooking.
on the outside edge.
That's cooking.
We caught the ever living piss
Are you jumping right into it?
out of fit. No.
Oh.
Oh, you were asking about our weekend and week.
Oh.
I was just going back to the weekend.
Well, my Spanish, I understand that to be let's go fishing.
Yeah, but I mean that's going to be my first topic.
Oh, okay.
But that's
Something else. Yeah, you
we're
did
not
slay
there.
it.
We hammered the ice fish, believe it or not, for TikTok user 69812. It was definitely thick enough to hold my fat ass. So eat shit. But 6.5 inches at our house, which
That's
was
the first time.
She said,
Yeah, nice, nailed it, both of you.
Yeah.
Got it.
Brother Dave and I are on the same wavelength there.
We went to another place. Evelyn had a basketball tournament on Saturday morning. Finished up with that. Me and Max went to another lake, and it was 4 inches, and I didn't like it. It got a little weird.
Neither does Justy.
Yeah, and like the water was coming up through the hole, and
Yeah, that stuff, mate. We
told big fella, let's head on back to the house.
yeah, that was I'm pretty jealous. We're into so the Biddy basketball schedule over there at the Y. Had to step in and help coach tonight.
That a boy.
It worked out well, but that schedule's out, and because Janelle, so she worked last weekend. She's in Indy for a conference this weekend. I think she's working again next weekend because there's some kind of makeup in April for something, and so that's the 8th, and then the 15th I think she is home, and then the 22nd she has to work, but she's not on call. I was like,
Nice.
I told her, I was like, you're only going to make one of Ryan's basketball games. To which she dejectedly looked at me like, oh, thanks for reminding me. I was like, oh, well.
Nothing she could do about it.
I wasn't saying it like a bad way,
Yeah, what a dick.
Yeah, well, that's part of
But
it.
yeah, that and then trivia night was a blast this year. I had a lot of fun this year.
I threw a little late break ball there
Mm-hmm.
because I think Dave's for Friday's show may be is it about the fall, Dave? Yep. So I can blend what I was going to talk about in there. So I made a quick little change there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it was a blast. We'll talk about it more here in a little bit. That's what we call a tease in the business. But
That's right.
the real after party was at Smoker's Lounge.
Oh boy, was it ever?
to the stove over there.
Well,
Yeah, we won't talk about it. Big fan of the show. Not going to mention any names.
Jesse Bolte.
Oh, no. Jesse, I was trying to leave your name out of it, buddy. But
Well, it snuck up.
That son of a bitch can dance now.
yeah, he can. He's got moves. Hey, the missus, when the missus hit the door,
Oh shit!
he should have had he should have had the look of maybe it's time to go, and I don't think he was picking up all the signals. But God bless Pam for taking care of him, and
I love her to death.
Getting him on the
she's
way.
one of the best.
yeah, she is. She does.
Do
Great
you
job.
have my husband? Who?
But yeah, we had a little karaoke out here. Dave put on a show, took a shirt off, looked good.
Oh, yeah.
And then as quick as the party started, it just kind of
Fizzled out.
Well, no, I kind of felt bad because we all kind of left at once, but it was time.
Yep.
It was definitely time.
There was plenty of Michelob Ultras drank.
Mm-hmm.
So that is all part of it. Dave, you got anything for the program?
Nope.
I mean,
Okay.
You
Hey,
guys
good
just-
night. See you next week.
Dutchman out.
you covered my whole weekend there. I didn't do no fishing, but you pretty well had her all dialed in, basketball and trivia night.
Yeah. Well, there you go. There you go. Hey, you want to know something exciting?
Mhm.
Our buddy, our friends over there at Hopf Outdoor Power are back.
Back in action.
And they're going to bring you this next segment with a beautifully well-written ad and well-read, of course. But glad to have oh my God, Hopf Outdoor Power, Hopf Outdoor Power, right over there in Jasper. Go get your Kubota serviced. Get ready for mowing season. If you're in the market for something new, I mean, Dave, you could be a walking billboard for what a side-by-side will change your life.
Yeah.
Like you went from, unhappy, overweight and balding to overweight and balding, like that
Yeah.
kind of how people do that saying.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think
It's brought me around.
I'm starting to see wear bars on those tires.
Oh, yeah.
Where, boy?
I mean, that's
He's got 1,200 or 1,300 miles on. We've been.
freaking wild.
Where's the first service? When do you do that?
That was
1,000
600 miles
miles.
ago.
Oh, you already serviced.
Nope. They didn't have any openings until the 3rd.
Oh,
Oh,
Monday. But it's supposed to be 60 on Sunday, so guess I'm just going to have to borrow a trailer from a neighbor down the road and drop it off on the way to work Monday.
okay. Yeah.
there you go.
Sunday.
But hey, we're glad to have Hopf Outdoor Power back. We appreciate it. And they're bringing you this next segment of the Wondering Dutchman podcast. Spring is in the air. Finally. Maybe. We hope so. And guess what? Hopf Outdoor Power is back. They never left, but they're back with us here at the Wondering Dutchman. And they wanted us to remind you of their great selection of used and new side-by-sides and ATVs. Talk to old brother Dave. His side-by-side is ready for an oil change and probably needs some new tires. Also, spring means that grass mowing season is upon us. Don't wait until the grass is too tall. Get your mowing equipment serviced today, and now is definitely the time. Our friends at Hopf Outdoor Power have their winter service special going on now till the end of February. The winter service special includes discounted services and discounted pickup and delivery. Don't wait till the grass is knee-high. Get your mowing equipment serviced today. All right, big fella.
Well, like I said in the intro there, I got it bad. It didn't do me no good. It just fueled it more. My topic just simply states vamos a pescar, which means let's go fishing. Like I got it, man. We got down there and dug everything out and we're down at the lake messing around, and I thought it's got to be thick enough because we sit down in the valley and everything like that with shade and everything. And I just got the old spud bar out and started chopping holes. And when I seen how thick it was, I knew it'd be game on. And a younger feller that I work with had said he had never been before, and I thought, well, let's give it a whirl. So we tried and got some bait and went down there, and we no more got the first hole chopped, got the first line dropped through the ice, and it was on. We started hammering bluegill, crappie. I think we even caught one bass. I'm not sure. I think, yeah.
What were we using for bait?
Bee moths and wax worms.
Really?
They're like little white maggot-looking deals.
Yeah.
You know what a bee moth
Yeah.
looks like. But, yeah, we found those at Huck's General Store right there in Huntingburg, Indiana. And then so we did that Friday evening after work, and then went to the ball game, watched the Raiders put a beat down on the Heritage Hills Patriots. Seen you up there.
Yeah, we that was our plan was, hey, we're going to go to the game, and had food there for the kids. We were eating, we were rolling, and literally like getting ready to put the kids in the car when she had to go put Uncle Ed down. But
Damn it.
I still took the kids because they were excited. I don't want any judgment on this, but Zoe, it was just me and the boys, and there was no way I was going to be able to keep them contained to watch.
Gave him your phone.
Yeah.
I noticed. And
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I mean,
They don't give a shit about high school basketball at this point.
They don't.
No, you're just trying to familiarize them with crowds and things to do and everything like that.
Yeah, they don't have the attention span.
Exactly. So then we get to the game and we come home, go to bed, wake up the next day, go to Heritage Hills, watch Evelyn play. They did pretty well, and then come back home, and I thought, let's try it again. So we went to this other lake, and like I said, it was good ice, but it just gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Now,
Didn't like it.
is there a general rule of thumb?
4.
4 inches is the minimum?
Yeah. If they say in order for it to be safe, it's supposed to be 4. Now, there are skinny shitheads that I know that have balls that won't fit in a 5-gallon bucket, and they'll go out on what? Or brain, yeah. Smoke Dragon's back here tending to this CGI fireplace, but he said they don't have brains either. But they say that they'll go out on 3.5, depending on if it's good and not rotten. Which I'm out, no way. So
yeah,
they start going after it. We walk out there. Max catches one fish. I'm sitting in a lawn chair, splashing in water that's coming up the hole. As people are walking towards me, I can watch the water level rise in my hole. I told Max, I'm out. Like, let's go. He's like, why are you so anxious? And I'm like, buddy,
it is.
You'll get there. You'll understand one of these days.
I mean, when you, there is a real fear.
Oh, God.
Because when you fall under the water, the likelihood you're going to find your way back up out of the hole that you fell in
is tough.
Is slim to none.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, you'll see stories.
Yeah.
Guys, up north, late ice fishing or early ice fishing that go through.
Mm-hmm.
Very rarely is there a survival to that.
Because obviously the fish migrate to the deepest parts of the lake.
Yeah.
Because the water, they can get to the bottom and they're below the thermocline. So the top is froze.
Yeah.
But the bottom is still 50-some degrees down there.
And then that's what makes them active because they don't have as much food to eat because of the limited area.
So now ice fishing's over. It's going to be 60 on Sunday, like Dave said. And the ice is gone and everything like that. Now it's starting to think about regular fishing. And I know baseball is going to tie up some time and softball and stuff like that, and golf and all the other bullshit that I have to do. But I really am going to try to make it a thing for me, for my mental health. Obviously, knock out the projects that need to be done so I don't get divorced. But I'm going to try to put a little bit more stock in trying to go fishing more because we cook some.
Yeah, delicious.
Oh, my God.
When they come out of that cold water like that.
Brother Nobby took them home. I think they cleaned fish Friday. We went to the ball game. I had quit fishing about 5:30, 6:15, and went up, took a shower to head to the game. And he said, I called him. I was giving him shit about it. I said, hey, what's your going rate? And he said $100 an hour. I said, suck my fat white ass. I ain't paying you $100 to clean my fish. Called him later, and I was like, man, did you bring that bucket of fish up to the house, or did you leave it down on the ice? Because I said, you think the coons would go out there and try to rake one of them fish out of the bucket?
Yeah,
and he said, don't worry about it. They're already here. And I thought, well, you son of a buck. So he ended up cleaning them. And I got 4 quart-size Ziplocs full of damn nice fillets. And I fried 2 bags the other night. I put 1 bag back in the general fund for the big fish fry for those fellas. And then I still got 1 bag left. But I take Andy's red and Andy's yellow and mix them together. Because
what colors that make, Dave?
Red and yellow?
Like a brown.
It's orange.
Orange.
Yeah.
Orange is the answer, Dave.
Orange. But they, so if you go straight red, it could be a little, some people say it's too spicy. I mean, I love it, but The yellow is just kind of bland. It's kind of just a cornmeal original, you know.
Yep.
So I kind of mix them together, and that's my deal there. Dug out one of my grandma's, probably 1989, 1990, original Fry Daddy. Still works like a charm.
So Janelle's family, close family, has a Christmas dinner tradition of eating fried fish.
Oh,
And
yeah.
what gets used.
That's cool.
That's what gets used to fry it up. But we all know my inability as a hunter, and that's okay. I can wear it. Had that conversation the other night at the Legion, but I do enjoy fishing.
Yeah.
And I got a buddy I went to law school with. He goes on a trout fishing trip every year, and I'm like, man, I'd love to get into that. Trout fishing. We did it when we went to Yellowstone the first time. No clue what we were doing, but we bought license and some gear,
Yeah.
and we fished the Yellowstone River.
Wow.
Not a chance of catching anything. But you're standing down there in that valley, and you're looking at what God created all around you.
Very beautiful.
Kind of keeping your eye out for animals, because that's kind of
Grizzlies.
their place there too. And just throwing. And the water was nice and cold. It was peaceful.
There's a place that you can catch trout within an hour and a half-ish from here that are wild trout. No, maybe they're not wild. They're released. But like they're in the wild. They're not like you know what I'm trying to get at.
Costco.
No. But you got to have a four-wheel drive to get there, and I don't want to like put it on blast where it's at, because you know that could be it's frowned upon in the community. But finding that spot would be neat to try. I've been told by another guy. He said that they go down there and catch rainbows and browns and stuff like that. You need to take a fly rod or a little ultralight or something like that. But anyway, I got a lot of work to do on my boat. I haven't had my boat in the water. I think I did last summer just a couple times just to make sure it still floats. But I want to find somebody that can do some aluminum welding and get some new seat pedestals put up in the front to where I can get some nice like big man seats. And then I'd love to ditch I got a foot controlled trolling motor that I'd love to ditch and get like a bow mount tiller handled trolling motor to where I can like sit on my ass,
Kind of pedal it with with your feet.
No. Tiller handles with your hand.
Oh, okay.
So you just kind of steer it.
Well, the big guys that fish on Sunday.
They're foot controlled, obviously, big time.
Yeah.
But I don't like to stand and do that because I'm
Why
not.
don't you sit?
Well,
do
because
that?
in order for actually, honest to God, the control wire, like from where the trolling motor is mounted to where my seat is going to be, it's not long enough.
Oh, now see, I gave Wyatt the trolling motor I obtained for the pontoon boat, and it's got a wireless foot control.
Oh, those are sweet.
And it's got a little key fob remote control.
What? On that little pond skipper he's got out here? Hell yeah. How many foot-pound thrust is it?
I don't know, bought off a guy that had on a 24-foot pontoon boat.
Holy shit, he's going to be able to ski behind that bastard. Hell yeah, that's cool shit.
I've always wanted, and guys say you can do it around here, but in the early spring when they're getting ready to get on the nest or they're feeding frenzy, that you can fly fish around here for like panfish, like bluegill and stuff.
We used to do it all the time.
Yeah.
My Grandpa Bill he had several fly rods.
Yeah.
And we would always go to the Huntingburg Conservation Club, and before they rebuilt that, and there was like some pea gravel beds that they put it there for the bluegill, but yeah, if you could find a little pond that's got some like a rock bar with pea gravel or sand, like a beach sand, shit like that, you can hammer them. Absolutely slam them like that.
Yeah, I've got one of those because I think my mom threatened to throw them away, and so I hid them, and I've got one at my house. May have one still hidden on 500 West.
Dad's got my dad has I think it's called white. It's either White River Fly Shop or White Water Fly Shop, whatever's within Bass Pro.
Yeah.
He's got like a 7-foot dogwood rod, 2-piece. It's pretty slick. Pretty. It's very pretty.
Yeah, this is not it.
Brother Craig, he said he's got one that like an Orvis, which is
Orvis is big in
that's the
fly
real
fishing
that's the
world.
real deal shit. But yeah, brother Craig said he's got.
Well,
one.
I've always wanted to do like you go down to Florida, well, any coastal area, and you get some of that inlet fishing.
Oh yeah, like
Where they're on
Spanish
those flat
Spanish
boats and-
fly,
yeah.
like Jose Wakajeve, or what the hell was his name? He was always
No
on the
clue.
fishing shows on Sunday mornings. That
Oh,
the show called Spanish Fly. You know.
Hey, is this
Oh, buck up, Nancy.
Is this-
Saves all ginger?
is this too close for sports for you to have some input, or I'm worried we're
You like to fish, Dave?
I mean, we fished a lot growing up, but not like what you guys like. Not like what Wyatt what he does is
I know that's me.
like it was always like a social thing. Like me and my buddies would go just find a river.
take a
drink,
case of cold ones and
I'd never drank in high school. We just go.
oh yeah,
park
we've had
and
that conversation.
Weirdo.
Yeah.
Fish all night.
You've made up for it now, though.
Oh yeah.
My dad, when my dad was a kid, he talks about fishing a lot. As a kid, you know, they'd go out Huntingburg
Oh
Lake. or
yeah, conservation club.
they'd go and fish all the time. He loves to fish, and we haven't done it as much, and we got to be more intentional about it. And you know, get
I
out
can
there.
remember riding on the tailgate of my parents' truck, my dad's pickup, riding on the tailgate with a bucket full of bluegill, splashing fish water all over my back, riding from the back lake at Holland to my house on 5th Street. Like, I can remember when we were going to go,
Yeah.
And my mom would fish, and I would fish, and my dad would spend the time my rod so I could
used to-
fish more.
I used to be terrible.
Oh man, I still am.
Yeah,
Matt Noblet will tell you to
Yeah.
this day,
I believe it.
there is never a dull moment when you're fishing with Zach Maester. I lost 2 rods through the ice last weekend. Just
No,
from
I've lost-
just from setting rods out and right down the hole they go.
I started going to the Blue River with Mr. Cam and
Yeah,
kayaking.
now that would be fun.
and it was well. I don't know. I'm too top heavy for one of the
Well,
long
yeah,
kayaks,
yeah.
So I lost 3 or 4 or 5 rods, like flipping over in the
17,
water.
14 rods. Yeah.
Ray-Bans. But then when I go with the wife and kids, they want to fish. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a good time. So I bought new fishing poles, and then everybody get theirs all jacked up. So they take mine, and
Yeah.
then they get stepped on, broke. Split in half. So I'm out of fishing poles again. Meanwhile, Wyatt can probably feed a small country in there with.
The amount of money that he spent on fishing rods.
Well, he didn't spend it. But
Well, yeah, I know what you
Santa
mean.
Claus.
I have what was known as a slight addiction to it. Like I've got a small tackle shop in my garage. You've seen all that shit that hangs on the wall back there.
we took. I'll tell you that we as a parent, you remember some of those first, but we took Zoe and Ryan out to the farm for their first fishing experience, and they caught some, and they'd laugh and giggle and have fun, and that's why we need to do more of it.
I was with Justine when she caught her first at Lake Helmrich.
Yeah,
Yeah, bluegill.
there you go.
Good times. I miss fishing. I'm ready for it. So I'm
They go-
Operation Bucket Fill. I'm ready to rip.
You know, a lot of people they go like Canada to fish. Like
Yeah.
that'd be fun. But I think a good old ice fishing trip up there, get up to Minnesota or Wisconsin.
That would be cool.
I went ice fishing up in Michigan.
Shanties.
Where we sat like in an actual shack. We were in law school. My buddy up there at Hastings, Michigan, his parents lived on a lake. You could just see little houses, not houses, but
Shanties.
shanties out on the water. And this was my first time doing it. And of course, my dad had always told me stories like, you know, guys around here tie ropes on their ass. So if they did fall in,
They're driving
and
trucks.
so like I'm walking out there like getting ready to go through the ice, and you watch like a truck drive by, and they're like, you know, if that truck isn't going in, like you're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
So
It's wild to see. Like ever since I've went ice fishing and like talked about it, like Facebook knows that I went.
yeah,
So now all my Facebook reels are nothing but ice fishing related. And some of them up in northern Michigan and Minnesota and Wisconsin and shit, they've got these full ass, they look like mobile home, like campers.
yeah.
And when they get them out there, they just hit hydraulic switches and it just lowers the frame of the camper to the ice, brings the wheels up off the ice.
It's
and then
big
they
business.
there's TVs, kitchens, wood stoves, the whole shooting match. It's
Yeah.
wild.
It's we had a blast, and what's great is the shanty wasn't big for all three of us, big enough for all three of us to bring a cooler, but you don't have to bring a cooler. So we just set our beer, and we had one guy. We all had a hole we were fishing in. We maybe caught a couple, but it was more about drinking the case of beer that was sitting out there.
Yeah, we hammered down there. We didn't slack up on that. But anyway, that's
There we
what I
go.
was thinking about.
All right, fellas, we did it. We proved to the world that we're not complete dumbasses. This past weekend, we participated in the old trivia night for the kids, FTK.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a good year. I think.
Yeah, we did.
And I just wanted to kind of recap a little bit. We kind of got out there a little bit. There was an interview. We went 10 for 10 on the chip round,
Yep.
which probably is unsurprising to some.
2 mulligans, though.
Well, we don't have to tell people that.
2 mulligans, but I think the reason that we got the interview was because we were the only ones that didn't use a mulligan on the one type of chip.
Oh, the Taki,
Yeah,
Ranchero,
the red Taki.
Well,
Fuegos.
And your wife looked at you like you were an idiot,
Yeah, but it was right.
but you were right.
Yeah.
And you stuck to your guns.
Yeah.
And I got a little auctioneering experience in
You
up
did
there.
great,
Did
brother.
Well, hell, a lot of compliments on it. Didn't realize after the first round about the second round. So I got to learn how to, because my getting a little raspy there.
Yeah.
And the voice, when I woke up the next morning, it was probably a combination of plenty of Mickey Ultras and the auctioneering, but the throat was a little bit
Mm-hmm.
tender. My hymen hurt a little bit.
Definitely.
Which
Yeah, it did.
that picture of you, buddy, are
Like that?
you going to give them exclusive permission?
I don't know. So we've been approached by some of the
Organizers.
the curators
Organizers.
of this event to potentially use some photos in the 2026 logo. So we're in negotiations with that, but stay tuned for that one. That's probably going to be a wild deal. I can only wait for that.
Well, I mean, I think it'll be in your negotiations. You should reserve a table for us for sure. Because I think when people find out the theme, well, they'll know the theme. I mean, they posted it. But
Already they did?
Yeah, because maybe not. No, maybe not. We don't want to let that cat out of the bag.
I don't see it yet.
We
I
don't
just
wanna-
know that they've selected it and picked a date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fun. We can tell you that. It's going to be fun.
Be a dandy.
And it's going to be something we all know and love.
We tied for 5th place with a cumulative point of 78 points is what we did.
And the winners were at
83. So we weren't too far out of the
But I think that's a 3rd place tie, though, right? Points wise.
79, and so first team 83, second place was a 2-way tie for 79, and then the 3rd place was we tied with Primerica for 77 points.
So it's not. And by the way, the winners.
Yeah, they bought that. I'm not afraid to say it.
I mean,
We won't name them, but they bought it.
Yeah, I mean, it's unreal. I mean,
It's
can't.
wild. But when they won, they paid hefty for those points.
Well, FTK.
And it was for the
FTK.
kids. And then when they won, they took their prize money and donated it back as well.
Oh, nice.
So I'll have to admit it was for the kids
Classic.
that night. Very classic.
Yeah, it is. That's good.
I got drunk as shit,
We
and I
know.
had a good time.
We know.
It was great.
Way better than the time before.
Yeah, because I was a fat, wet blanket that night, and so were you.
Mm-hmm.
We both sucked balls that night,
Mm-hmm.
figuratively, not literally. But
night and day difference.
it was,
It
and
made
I'm
a
glad
difference.
that we all had fun. And I helped the table behind us do some. I called on their bidding a little bit. When they bought the cheeseburgers, they were nice enough to donate some food, to the table, and it was just everybody spent money, and it was a good time for the kids. And I know our bar bill was pretty healthy, but it was a great time.
There's just something. We talked about situational beers.
Yeah, that's one.
And
of
when
them.
you're at like a table or a room full of folks and everybody's having fun and everybody's getting after it, you let your hair down a little bit.
Yep.
And then next thing you know, you're like 6 buckets in and you're like, oh, good thing we got a designated driver.
That is exactly right, because we all did. I mean,
Yeah, we were
all
responsible.
Had this.
We don't condone
Now
drinking
I don't
and
know
driving.
who Team Ron Rashi is,
They struggled.
but boy, oh boy, 36, huh? Like they got a 1 on one sheet, and they also got a 0 on one sheet. But then they came in second round with a 7. Now, how does that work? But
Does that score list have the sheets on there? I wonder how we did on the first sheet and the like I felt like
No, you nerded out hard on the first one. We got 9, remember? Because we
didn't know his girlfriend's name.
we said Lorraine instead of
that was his mother,
whatever his girlfriend's name was. Yeah, we got that one mixed
the
up.
theme, for those of you that aren't in our little neck of the woods,
Privy.
Trivia night is basically they rent out Huntingburg Event Center, put out a bunch of tables, teams of 8. They go through different rounds of trivia. This year's theme was Back to the Future, and it was a good one. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
There was a real DeLorean there.
Yeah.
A lot of people dressed up.
Their whole team got a free round of drinks for that dude
know.
driving that thing.
Well, we got a whole full round of drinks when we did a sold. So it all worked out.
right.
We didn't have to
Hey.
bring the DeLorean.
We got to jump, though. We can figure out a pretty sweet ride to bring, I imagine, for next year's
Oh, yeah.
rowboat.
Or some sort of giant ship.
That'd be good. That'd be great. But in the venue, like when they did the venue pictures, like we did solid on that because the
God,
the Hill Valley Courthouse, I was like, that's got to be it. There's nothing local that makes sense. Plus, going back to the theme, but they had some interesting rounds, interesting questions there.
And I loved it because it was the Dutchman plus a couple
and our wives.
and our wives. And I'm not going to name any names, but I thought, man, these deadbeats ain't going to contribute. You know what I mean? Like, we're way smarter than these people.
Talking about you, Dave.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about the 2 people that we invited on our team.
Well, they don't listen to the show.
I know,
so it's
but if
okay.
they do, this will be great. But you know what? Old boy showed up because I had never had a clue that like the Calumet, the one picture.
With the Calumet, yeah.
Well, yeah, but the hell, he's old enough. That was a spot to hang out, back in the day. Because even I was telling Charles about it, he's like, the Calumet? Hell, that thing was dying when I was 21,
They used to have wild parties out
Oh,
there.
yeah. They said that was always having some ragers back in the day. But luckily, the other ones were in Huntingburg. And, I drive by them all 250 times a day. So we locked them in. And then what other was the real humdinger? The music one with Shabuzi and all that. Luckily, our wives knew what that meant, but I never really heard of that.
You've
But,
never heard of Shabuzi?
I mean, once they said the song, yeah.
Yeah.
It was the sound clips or whatever. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, we nailed
They
that
always
one, too.
do, like the food tasting one.
Yeah, that's usually tough.
Is
This
it-
one was tough. I'll have to say that because there ain't no freaking way in hell that anybody in that room could tell me that was a Philly steak and cheese Pringle. And that was the nastiest sumbitch and chip I'd ever had in my life. Like the smell of it opening the bag was atrocious.
Yeah,
it was
wasn't
gross.
good. I don't know how anybody can eat them.
No.
You know what they ought to do. And we may have some fans that are, well, we know one of them for sure, because she had to come out here and get her husband that's involved in the organization, that they ought to talk to our friends at Merkley and Sons and get 8 or 9, because they got 5 or 6 broad options now.
Mm-hmm.
But you add 2 or 3 more on there. Oh, good Lord.
Well, I don't know how they'd keep them hot, but we could figure it out.
Well, them little,
Warming trays.
yeah, like
Put a little water in the warming trays and,
Exactly.
candles.
yeah. I don't think it's a bad idea.
No, it's not.
I mean, we'd be solid in that. The old Glizzy Roller has done
Phenomenal.
that's a lot of
job.
training over there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no show.
it is. But
Trivia was a blast.
with that said, hey, it's time for a quick pause for the cause, and that's brought to you by LC Lawn Care and Pressure Washing.
Our buddy Logan Clark doesn't just hang Christmas lights. He owns and operates LC Lawn Care and Pressure Washing. The good news is Logan has openings for lawn care in Huntingburg and Jasper areas. The better news, Logan is doing pressure washing not only in DuBois County, but also in the counties that surround DuBois County. Everyone is busier now than ever, whether it's getting on your porches and patios and decks cleaned up and ready for better weather or keeping the yard nice and trimmed. Logan is ready for you. But don't wait. His schedule is filling up fast.
And we're back. Big thank you. Now, the LC and LC Lawn Care and Pressure Washing is our buddy Logan Clark. And he did a hell of a bang-up job with your Christmas lights, so I can
did.
only imagine that he's going to have them stripes in the lawn, nice and straight, and that pressure washing. That's a nice thing there. I mean, when you get that green funk on the side of your house, or the old patio don't shine like it does, or, you know,
If he's got one with a sidecar, like I just have him mow the yard, and riding the mower and drinking beer is the best part. Maybe I just ride.
just ride with him.
Like we'll say, like, hey, buddy.
A
Slow
lawnmower
down
with a
around.
sidecar.
He'd love it. I bet Logan
Stop
would love
taking
that.
them corners too fast. You're going to make me spill my yak on my suit.
All right, Brother Dave, I wouldn't say anything, but there would be signs. What's yours?
So I've been seeing all these, and we may have touched on this before, I'm sure, in the last 2.5 years, but for some reason I've been seeing more on the face space of the little memes of, you know, if I win the lottery, I'm not going to tell anybody, but there'd be signs. And so I think I've decided what if I just had FU money, like, and I could just do whatever I wanted, I'd definitely have a moat. Like that'd be how you knew that I did it. When Love Excavating was here digging a moat around the house, the property.
Would you have a drawbridge?
You'd have to. It's a moat. It wouldn't do any good to have a regular ass bridge.
You could have a regular ass bridge with a gate.
Yeah, tanks or tractors would make short work of a gate.
Tanks, huh? What are you preparing for here, Dave?
I mean,
You're gonna put tiger. You're gonna put tiger teeth on the backside of the moat too.
Maybe.
German tiger teeth. Keep them tanks out.
Everybody wants to laugh at the guy with the moat until it's time to do moat having shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably start donating the half pot back if I won, or something like that. You know, something real classy, like Dave said. You know, earlier, buying my trivia championship, shit like that.
A moat.
Yeah.
I tell you what, you say a lot of wild things, and you got a lot of wild ideas.
That's up on the list.
That's up on the list. That's top fiver for sure.
Now, I totally read into this wrong. I was looking at something like, I wouldn't say anything, but there would be signs. What's yours? So, like, I was looking at this as if, like, you had giant boogers hanging out of your mustache or something, and it's like, I'm not going to say nothing, but I would maybe like
Do like that.
yeah, like, hey, I'm wiping my nose. Hey, like,
I'm wiping my nose to the people that don't want.
yeah, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, I thought that, but I like this lottery shit too. We could really go ham with that.
Well, I mean, it's never going to happen. So
Well, because at
Okay,
first I
Mr.
thought it
Negative.
would be a badass golf simulator like on that TGL. I've
hey,
been watching the shit out
one
of
for
that.
sale for 11.5. Somebody had.
Not with a moving
Full-
I'm talking.
Oh,
like,
you're talking about the TGL.
Yes.
11.5, 1,100
$11,500
for
like a big time golf simulator, like
Well,
legit.
What do you got to wear? I mean,
It was down in Tell City for sale.
well, what kind of building would you have to put it in?
Well, we could put it in mine for sure.
Yeah,
I've started looking. I think the way to do it cheap, if you just want to have a golf simulator and not take space you already have, I think you just get a carport with sheet metal sides and then wall the two ends, like stud the two
you have to
ends.
be able to insulate it so you can do it in the winter and not freeze your balls off.
And you got to
Yeah,
put it in
but-
a bar, bathroom,
But
something
that's
to
what I'm
cook
saying.
with.
You get like
sink.
a 24 by 30 little carport, a tall one, 10-foot walls. You just spray insulation, and that's a small enough area. You get like
10-foot walls.
10-foot walls.
You'd have to go 12, wouldn't you? How tall is this?
8.
Is it?
Yeah, just regular 8-foot walls.
Okay.
10-foot walls do it. Yeah, I've been putting a lot into it, and I think it felt like I might have to go to that.
What do you do? You
Dinkies.
just buy a TrackMan. You get you a TrackMan and a projector, isn't it?
That's
So
what
projectors are cheap. The hit mat or the impact, whatever the hell you call the mat, the screen and the mat you hit into is pretty cheap. And then you just need turf to hit off of, and they got a couple different options for the ball tracer and tracker. But if you're going to do a 10-foot ceiling and you got enough space behind you, I think the way to go is the ones that are above your head, because then
the
it doesn't matter.
TrackMan or the projector, you mean?
The ball tracker. They've got some that like an Apogee, but it's like $7,000. But then it doesn't matter if you're a left or right-handed golfer.
You're
Because I've
right.
got 2 left-handed kids.
Yep.
So if you got one that sits on the ground, you got to be able to flip flop and move
Yeah, that
everything
would be a
around
pain
in
in
the
the
middle.
ass.
So I think the way to go would be above 24 foot deep, 30 foot deep. You only need 15 for the simulator, and then the fronts, where everybody sits down, has the bars, shoots the shit. Maybe a little putting green in there with a hole just to
Yeah.
work
Pass
on the
time
short
as you're
game.
waiting for your tea time. Yeah, I think when it would come to the money conversation, I don't know like where there would be signs, but there would probably be like a lot of we're gone, like long weekend, like we'd have a home somewhere.
Yeah,
we'd
you know,
have,
there's one guy that just land transfers. Like you just see, like, you know, that land transfers, do they still go in the paper?
well, nobody reads the paper anymore.
But I mean, like, but used to, like, if you bought property, was that?
I think like through sheriff sales and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're right.
Private transactions
They
gets
don't go
recorded,
there,
but they
right.
don't get posted.
Yeah, so like, if a guy was just scrolling through on X and just randomly seen my name pop up like randomly in different spots, you know, I'm like, what the hell? When the did this guy? What's going
he
on
got
here?
going on?
Oh, goddamn, you know,
Yeah,
stuff like that. Like that would be one.
But you know, in today's day and age, like you got that kind of money, you make yourself a target. That's
Well,
the bad
you need
thing.
the moat.
For the tanks.
Because God forbid they swim across it unless
There's
you're
going to be
put
alligators in there.
What are you going to do in the
Piranhas.
wintertime?
You heat it. I'm rich.
I'm rich.
I'm Rick James. You're going to heat your moat, a 4-acre moat.
Maybe. I mean, if that's what it takes to have the attack gators.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's got to be deep. You're going to have tall walls. You ain't going to be able to like step out of it on the property side. That's what makes a moat hard to build on a hill. I got a lot of ground to build up here.
Yeah, I know. You imagine how deep that somebody's going to be over here?
Well, yeah, because you need 12-foot drop off on the wall before you get to the water, and then at least 7 foot deep so that most people can't stand. They get in there, they're going to have to keep treading water until the gators get there.
How many gators?
Yeah, man.
100, 200 maybe.
I feel like
What do you call a group of gators?
I'd call them a gaggle.
A gaggle of gators.
I don't know if that's what it is. Maybe
I don't think gators hang out like in large. Well,
Oh, sure they do.
Hell
They're
yeah. You ever been to Gatorland?
yeah, but that's different.
There's all pile up in one thing.
Oh, they're trying to stay warm. Yeah, they're trying to stay warm. I don't know. I mean, that's an interesting thing to think about. But
You got a perfect property for a moat.
yeah, I really
Nice,
do.
big and square.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Congregation.
The bad thing of it is if the
A
alligators,
congregation of alligators.
if the alligators would get out of the moat and my wife, because this would be the real sign. There'd be some godforsaken horse barn put up there on the hill.
Well, I thought yours was
Put a
going to
bunch
be
of
like,
stupid ass hay burners
Yes.
frolicking through the meadows.
I see Casey slowly turning into the guy from Yellowstone, like a couple horses and a few cattle, and then a whole ass herd, and then
Casey Dutton. And all of a sudden, a bunch of these random,
ostrich skin boots.
all these random, like homeless hobo cowboys start showing up with this real cheesy brand burned into their chest.
There'd be signs. Yeah, there'd be signs. I don't know. I mean, the materialistic side, like, you know, if I went and bought a new truck tomorrow, you guys wouldn't question that. You know what I mean?
No.
Like,
Because you're just one of those drives that till the wheels, like sooner or later, you're going to have a new truck.
well, God willing, and the creek don't rise. Papa Frank and Hornet can keep that baby running as long as possible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They're probably. I mean, yeah. I saw on Facebook Tony Stewart's property up there in Columbus is still for sale.
Yeah.
$22 million.
That ain't bad.
That may be where it goes.
Man, he built a real cool place down the road from my dad's house back home. Like just a weekend home there.
Like recently?
10, 11 years ago, probably.
Does he still live there?
I don't know. He's got, like, somebody lives there and takes care of the
Grounds.
grounds, but he doesn't live there.
Yeah.
It's north and just a little east of Connorsville.
Yeah. So the one in Columbus there, I don't.
That would probably be a sign too. I mean, we've had those plans to build on and do all those additions and renovations for a long time. So if you just randomly seen, you know,
All of that getting done.
action going, you know, maybe that would be another one.
Maybe like a stone watchman's turret on the house. Just something that you don't need. That you
A guard tower.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lynching pole on the
German
one side.
shepherds, catapults.
No, they would be German Malinois.
Oh,
Or Belgian Malinois.
Belgian Malinois.
Yeah, like a whole pack. A whole
maybe little pit dog, wiener dog mixes, little wiener pits just running around with
Pit
big
wieners.
heads.
Pit wieners. Yeah, there you go.
Little weenie pits hanging around.
Well, actually, probably
Big old lockjaw bastard weenie dogs.
Hey, the big sign for this guy would be just arms of half pot tickets.
Yeah. I bought $20 worth Friday when I went.
Oh, well, I did too. I bought some too.
Yeah.
And then no winner.
I know. I bought.
Friend of the program,
I know.
he was selling freaking Brado. Yeah, I'm selling winners.
God
Bastard.
They so it was cancer night at the game, which was neat.
It was tough.
Yeah, I know.
It was tough.
I know, but there was a lot of tears of joy, tears of perseverance, a lot of stuff going on there.
Courtney looks great. By the way.
She does. She's definitely looking good. T's and P's to everybody that was involved in that. That was a great tribute, and we're back in the pink. But there was the guy that won the half pot donated $180 back to the cancer thing, and then they passed around an ice bucket and took donations for the American Cancer Society. And then another friend of the program that was a former sponsor of ours matched the total, and I thought that was pretty cool too.
That is cool. I mean, that's
just another statement, another testament of living in an awesome community where people really give a shit about each other.
Well, I tell you what, the atmosphere. So the Princeton atmosphere, because we talked about Memorial Gym, good. That was a pretty good matchup. Heritage Hills traveled well. But I tell you what, that JV game.
Oh, overtime again.
With overtime and come back. I mean, they were down. I was like, there's no chance. And then Coach Haywood actually got in there back coaching with Wheel. And you talk about two intense guys.
Wow.
Will you come to a game with Big Mason and I? Sit there and eat popcorn and hang out?
Yeah.
Even though you won't
I got to go on the – well, you guys aren't going to go then. I think there's a game apparently on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, we're going. Yeah, the 14th. I'll be there. Date night at Memorial. We'll be there for that. You can stay there and hang out with me on that one.
Okay.
Casey can come too. It'll be the
Brett Young's up at the concert or at the
who
place of employment. Brett Young,
never heard of him.
Country music guy.
But they're they're doing youth recognition night. They rescheduled it up there. But yeah, we
wait a
could
minute.
go.
The 14th is a Saturday.
Friday, 15th is a Saturday. Big guy.
Butcher and Hogs
On a Friday. No,
Nope, picking them up Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're going to the game, and but we could go to any other one too. There should be a few other ones.
They got a few more. You're getting close to the end of the season, though. They'll be having because girls just had sectional draw, so boys shouldn't be too far behind that.
That's right. So
That's baseball season, fellas.
Yeah, first practice is coming up, huh?
Yeah,
Pretty soon.
good,
Sunday.
good.
That's what Weston said. I was like, I have no idea.
Jenna's on remind, so
Okay. I thought you were on Remind. I looked and I didn't see last year's. That's how I always know which one. I always see last year's team, but I didn't use the code yet to get on this year's.
Well, we can take care of that, buddy. We'll get you all lined up.
Take care of.
But hey, you know what?
Let's do it.
There would be signs. If we ever got into the podcast money, probably wouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
Nah.
I don't know. We got enough podcasts. We might get a little bit more space for shenanigans in the shop.
Yeah.
When we have.
Kind of like a fun, an adult amusement park. Well, that sounds bad when you say that, but you know what I mean? We'd have our golf simulator in there.
Yeah.
We'd have a full bar, full kitchen, pool table, darts.
It'd be the headquarters.
Little chip and putt course.
Wondering Dutchmen headquarters, just some old pole barn facilities.
Like Pat McAfee's got that would be badass. Or like Dude Perfect, they got that.
What was that guy's name? The first to do
Barstool's
that?
got it too.
Rob Deerdeck?
Yes.
Fantasy Factory.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, that is
That
true.
would be cool as shit.
That is true. It is now time for us to visit our friends at the ultimate destination for meat enthusiasts. It's those Merkley and Sons Choice Questions of the Week for the fellas, brought to you by February is a big month. It may be short on a few days, but it's a big one. We've got the Super Bowl, we've got Valentine's Day, and hell, maybe even in your household, President's Day is a big deal. The good news is that when you throw that massive Super Bowl party, you can utilize those high-quality Merkley and Son meats. Whether you are going with a simple spread or something more in-depth, The fellas over there at Merkley's have got you covered. Fellas, listen up. Cook dinner for your significant other on Valentine's Day. Skip the dog and pony show that is February 14th and show off your culinary skills. Ladies, listen up. Don't waste your time. Head on over to Merkley's, do a little shopping, and make this the best Valentine's Day ever for your mate. All right, fellas. Valentine's Day is getting closer.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of for the fellas that listen to the show to give them some ideas to start planning when this comes out, because you don't want to wait till the last minute. So for your significant other, would you rather write a love letter or a romantic text every day? Like, maybe not a romantic text every day, but like, let's say, a love letter once a week or a romantic text every day for the month of February.
Sending it
To Jenna, yes.
yeah, text if that was an acceptable thing to do, that'd be what I do.
So you're once a week.
Would you rather send a nice love letter or a daily text of love?
Text her every day.
Yeah, Janelle wouldn't care if I wrote her anything, so it'd have to be a text, probably just for my sanity. Would you rather take your significant other on a fancy dinner date or a nice little cozy night in?
Are the kids here?
No kids.
Probably in.
I'd probably take her out to dinner with no kids. Yeah.
I would rather do the cooking and be able to just hang out at home, probably. I think that's where I would go. Would you rather get your significant other chocolates or flowers for Valentine's Day? Or I guess you'd go neither if you had other options. Or
I'm normally a flowers guy.
Bofa.
That's where I'm at too. Get the flowers from our friends, local friends down the road, and then get you some chocolates. This one's just maybe more in general. Would you rather have a partner who's really romantic but forgets big dates, or a non-romantic partner but always remembers the important dates? So like anniversaries, birthdays, et cetera, et cetera.
I don't know that I'd have a preference one over the other on that. I could see there being a benefit to either.
Just no input.
I think it's situational for sure. Kind of a fun one here. Would you rather go on a blind date with a stranger or on a group date with an ex in the group?
Is this like if we were living in a fantasy land where we didn't have wives?
Yeah, this is not a real
imagine
pre-wife. I mean, you'd have to go back to middle school, big fella, but
I suppose just the single
blind date.
Yeah, that's the one.
I would want to go on a date where my ex was present, only if the chick that I was dating was way hotter than my ex. Then I could be like, no, that's dumb. I would go for a one-on-one with a stranger.
Yeah, blind date for sure. Final one here.
She was a female.
Would you rather wear a Cupid costume to work or sing a classic old love ballad in a crowded restaurant?
I'd sing, I think.
I'd wear the Cupid suit.
I mean, when we sang karaoke out here the other night, I sounded a little rough, but I don't think I was bad.
Nah.
I'd probably sing the song. We got to have fun with that. So there we go. Those are the Merkley & Sons Choice Cut questions of the week for the fellas, brought to you by Merkley & Sons, the ultimate destination for meat enthusiasts. Fellas, we're legitimately going to go around the table one more time for some final thoughts. And guess who they're brought to you by?
Tell me.
Our friends up there at Butcher and Barrel.
Butcher and Barrel, the new kid on the block. The fine dining experience right in the heart of Huntingburg. The place for hearty portions and unique cocktails. What can we say? Butcher and Barrel is the fine dining establishment that is ready to celebrate life's big moments or just a date night with the person you love. Butcher and Barrel has a unique menu from classic steaks to unique creations. And let's not forget about their craft cocktails. We're fans of eating. Look at us. But trust in the fact that the people behind Butcher and Barrel care and strive for excellence in everything they do. Make a reservation soon and tell them the Dutchman sent you.
All right, Dave, what do you got?
It's going to be wet. It's going to be muddy for a while. I think we're going to get some warm weather, get teased with spring coming. And then I'm sure, like that old Dave Frost always said up there that used to work for me, unless the Final Fours happened, it's going to freeze one more time. Plan on it. So get ready for that. Everybody's been sick this week, I think. A lot of folks at work with their kids sick. I had a sick kid. The weather change isn't going to help that here in the next few weeks. So vitamin C and, clean up after your little snot machines.
Big fella.
Yeah. So same thing. Stay healthy. Wash your hands. We're not there yet. We are still balls deep in dirty winter. And
Not to interrupt, but did you see somebody's post on Facebook where they were like, you think you're out of winter, but then you're not. First fake spring, but it's not really spring. Somebody had posted that meme online, and it was hilarious because there was like 13 line items of like, we're in the dirty winter, and then a false hope of spring that lasts only a couple of days, dirty winter too. Like it was a good reminder.
But so stay positive, keep your eye on the prize, and it'll be here before you know it. But before it gets here, like I say, this time of the year is brutal on everybody. Like we've been locked up inside forever, the mental health battles, and stay positive. If you need anything, give me a buzz. I'll listen. You never know what's going on behind closed doors, and always remember that there's somebody out there that can listen. And there's always resources if you need it. So keep your stick on the ice, stay positive, and we'll be fishing before you know it.
Big thank you, of course, to Krieg Insurance, our buddy Matt Krieg. Always appreciate him being a part of the show. Of course, Hopf Outdoor Power. Glad to have them back. Spring, as we say, it's not here yet, but it's getting close. Start planning. And, of course, their huge line of side-by-sides and ATVs. Dave is probably a perfect testimonial for the side-by-side family. The guy drives it everywhere, and that's not a joke. You don't put 1,300 miles on something you've had for, 12 weeks? Maybe, and you were gone 2 of those weeks. Mm-hmm. So averaging at least 130 to 150 miles a week on that bad boy, doing rough math, not Rain Man math, rough math. But so go over there, see our friends at Hopf Outdoor Power. That's a hell of a deal to get your lawnmower service, discount on that, the service, and then they pick up and then deliver it back when it's done. That always helps. That's great. Of course, LC Lawn Care and Pressure Washing, our buddy Logan Clark. The pressure washing thing is big. I mean, do you own a pressure washer?
I do.
Well, shit.
I don't.
Yep, and I don't either. I guess we could borrow Dave's, but that doesn't help our buddy Logan. And then, of course, Merkley and Sons. And awesome, Butcher and Barrel to come on board. That's cool.
Hell yeah.
We got to get up there, set a reservation for 3 hefty fellas to go in there and do some sampling and do some trying of food. My final thought is this. Be more intentional on your actions. We've already burned through January, and one of my things for 2025 was to be more intentional and present with my kids. Getting a large dose of that with the youngest one because he still enjoys snuggling with dad over mom.
Nice.
Mom's not happy about it, but there's been a couple times where dad has fallen asleep during the snuggling with the other one. And so that's always tough because you kind of wake up and then he's all nice and warm. And then, he's not a fan of being put into the crib after falling asleep with old Papa Bear. But anyways, enjoy the good weather while it's here. If your driveway is not a freaking mess like mine is, God bless you because mine's terrible. But you know what? Sunny days are ahead.
It's part of it.
And that's okay. Fellas, take us out.
Dutchman out.